Hi, I want to work on chapter two. I want to work on some of the problems. So this problem would help you to do your homework. Sorry for delay. I should have done it yesterday, but there was some problem with the microphone, so I fixed it. Hopefully it won't happen again. Okay, let's start. All right, so here, first we want to work on the equation. Solve the equation, okay? We want to solve the equation. Let's think of something that you know the answers, like x plus 3 equal to 8. You know, obviously, what number plus 3 is 8? That number is 5. How do you find that value? What you do is your head, you subtract 3, right? So you just say, I'll put negative 3 here and negative 3 here. So x is 5. You could also do it this way. You know, our goal is to have x by itself. So in order to do that, I need to move 3 to the other side. To move 3 to the other side, you could either do it this way, or when you move a number from one side to the other side of the equation, you could always switch the sign. That's exactly what we do here. So you just write x is 8 minus 3. So there are two ways to do it. And let's try another problem. Minus 6 plus y equal to 5. So I can either put positive 6 here and positive 6 because I want to isolate y. So y is 11. Or again, the second method is, since I want to have y by itself, I need to move negative 6 from one side to the other side. All I need to do is switch the sign. It's a negative, the sign would become positive. Okay? So you have a choice of selecting one of these two, whatever you're comfortable with. All right, so now (11 = 5). That's how you could tell whether the answer is correct or not. 11 letter P minus 20 is 3 letter P minus 60. So a problem like you have 11P in this side and 3P on this side. You always move the smaller one to the larger one. Okay, 11 is larger than 3P. So I move this to this side and negative 20 to the right. So then I have 11P minus 3P is 20 minus 60. Okay, so you have 8 letter P equal to minus 40, and divide both sides by 8. Okay, think of this example. Look, let's say I have 2x equal to 10. It doesn't have any plus or minus here. When there is no plus or minus here, there is division. See, I want you to see the difference between this one and this problem. Look. In this one, when I want to solve it for x, since there is a plus, means I have to move 2 to the other side. So positive 2 become negative 2, right? But this is different. On one side, you have 17, the other half, you have 0. That's not possible. 0 is equal to 17? No. Problem like this, then you just say no solution. See, when we give you an equation, it doesn't mean that all the equations have the answers. No, there are ones like this that you cannot find any answers. It's like case like this. Okay? But let's look at another problem. Let's look 3x plus 2 plus 5 is 3x plus 7. Let's look at this problem. These two equations, these two sides are equal. You see that? 7, if you add these two is 7 and that's 7. So in this case, it doesn't matter what the value of x is. Let's say I put here, first I added is 3x plus 7. And then also the right side is also 3x plus 7. So it doesn't matter what, let's say I put x equal 5. When you put 5 here and here, both sides are equal. 0 equal to 0. When you put any other number, negative number, positive number, it doesn't matter what number it is, both sides are always equal. In the case like this, you just answer is infinite solution. Infinite solutions, okay? Solving equation means find the number that when you substitute for the x, it would satisfy both sides, right? So problem like this, that both sides are equal, you always end up in the end 0 equal to 0 when you cancel. So it works for any number of x. Now here, I have 14 and look at this problem here. 14 equal to 7x, so we divide both sides by 7, right? Look at this problem. This is not division because of this positive sign. So when I put negative 7 and negative 7, so again, you need to understand the difference when to divide or subtract. Here, I don't see any plus or minus sign. So that's why you have a situation like that. We have a formula, which they call it cross product or cross multiplication. If two fractions are equal, okay, you could always cross multiply and do it this way. Look at this problem here. 3n equal 4 equal to that. So if two fractions are equal, then you could always cross multiply. See, that's how it works. You cross multiply and you find the value of n. They call it cross product or cross multiplications. Look at these problems. Negative 4x over 5 is 12. It was 12, so what you... Number 4. This is just like it's not for a specified variable. I want to just jump from solving it for a variable to just a normal number again. Look at this one. 9x plus 10 is equal to 6x minus 18, right? So you want to collect all the x's on one side and numbers on the other side. So here I moved 6x to this side. Why? Because, see, you have 9x and 6x. 9x is larger than 6x, so you better move 6x to that side and 10 to the other side. All I need to do is change the sign. Remember, you could either do it like that, or if you learn this way and you're more comfortable like that, just do it this way. Just say, okay, minus 6x, minus 6x. You want to take 10 to the other side, minus 10 minus, see, you could also do it this way too. See, 3x on this side and minus 28 on the other side. All right. And then divide both sides by 3 because you want to solve it for x by itself. Now let's look at these problems. Solver for h. Now, when I deal with the fractions, the very first thing I like to do is just get rid of this 3. So in order to do that, you just multiply both sides by 3 first, okay? So you put a 3 here and 3 here. 3 and 3 cancel. So it becomes this. 3v is pi r2. Since I solved it for h only, I divide both sides by 3v. I'm sorry, by pi r2. So in that case, h is alone. See, that's how to solve the equation for h. Means again, h must be alone by itself. To solve this one, so this is combinations of addition and 5 equal 2r plus a. Let's look at this problem. What I do is I make an example for myself and they all just real numbers. So if I want to solve the problem, what do I do first? Don't I take a to the other side and then divide? See, you do the same thing on the left too. You move 90 to the other side. So that becomes this, h minus 90. And here, when you do that, then we divide both sides by 2, right? So here we divide both sides by t, because again, we want to find r by itself. So r is this. T over 2 plus 12 equal to minus 6. So what I do is first I move 12 to the other side. So that becomes this. T over 2 is negative 6 minus 12, which is minus 18. Okay. So first I move 12. And then instead of minus 18, see, this is what I have so far. Instead of just minus 18, I give a denominator of 1 and make it a fractions. Then I think of that formula that if you have two fractions equal to each other, then you do cross multiplications. So t multiplied by 1 is 2 times minus 18, which is minus 36. Next, we deal with some problems that are dealing with translation of English statement into mathematical expressions, okay? Let's get this problem here. A number added to 6 is equal to that. This is unknown. See how I put the x here? So a number is x. X added to 6, x added to 6 is equal, means equal, is equal 4 times this multiplication. 4 multiplied by number. Again, instead of number 2. See, you end up having the equation like that. And then, obviously what you do is you just move the x to the other side. So it would be 6 equal 3x. And then divide both sides by 3. X is equal to 2. Get another one. 9 times a number. A number, again, is x. Unknown is always x or n. Doesn't matter what letter we use, but you normally use x or n. 9 times x, okay? 9 times x. Plus 10. Plus 10. 9 times x plus 10 is equal 6 times the number, 6 times the number, minus 18. See, this is what you have. And then you solve it. 6 goes to this side, 10 goes to that. So it's 9x minus 6x is negative 10, negative 18. So 3x is minus 28, and then divide both. Minus 28 over 3. Another one. 29 is equal to 29 is equal to 7 less than twice of the number. Twice a number, subtract from 7. 7, subtract from twice of the number. 2x minus 7. Okay. 7 less than twice of x. So then I'll move the x here for the 7 there. And then divide both sides by 2. So x is 36 divided by 2 is 18. All right. We also have 2 problems here. Now, before we go over these problems, we understand that here, any triangle has 3 angles, and sum of all 3 angles are always 180. This is just a rule that we assume that you should know. In every triangle, sum of all 3 angles are always 180. So in this problem, they're saying there are 3 angles. One is y, one is 4y, one is 5y. So then it's 10y equal 180 divided by 10. Y is 18. When you find y equal 18, then you could find all 3 of them. And then if I want to know whether my answer is correct or not, I'll test it. Okay? To see if the outcome is 180 or not. So sum of 3 angles are 180. So if all 3 of them are given as y4, y5, y, you add them all together and that's equal to 80. This is your equations. And go on. The second problem is when you need to understand that in every triangle, any rectangle, this is a rectangle. In rectangle, these 2 longer sides and shorter sides are equal. If this is the longer side L, the other one is L, this is that. How do I calculate parameter? Parameter is you always add dimension of all 4. So parameter of rectangle is W plus L plus L, or 2W plus 2L. These problems, what we are telling length is 2x, the other one is x minus 6. So they just give you a letters instead of the numbers, right? So you add all these 4, and that's set to equal to 36. That's your equation. 36 is the parameter is given in the problems. So what it does, when you solve the equation, you find your 8. When you find your 8, then 2x is 18 and 18. So that's for a problem that you said the rectangle has side which is like that. Okay. So hopefully working on these problems would help you to do problems on chapter 2.